Hey guys, Jonathan Posey here talking to you guys a little bit today about chromium picolinate. Fat loss has quickly become the biggest issue in our industry. There's constantly debate as to how to achieve fat loss for our clients, which is a good thing. As we know, unfortunately, Americans are fighting a losing battle against obesity, and we are trying to constantly find things to battle that because it is truly a disease. It is sad. People out there are trying to find their magic pills to see if that works, and they're giving people false hope. Things like hydroxycut, caffeine pills, and other stimulants that supposedly help with fat loss, they don't always work. One, though, that has some potential to work is chromium picolinate, the one I'm going to be talking to you guys about today. The chromium part of the chromium picolinate has a lot of roles in the body, some of which include regulating blood sugar with those with prediabetes, type 1 and type 2 diabetes, and those with high blood sugar because they took or are taking steroids. It also has an effect on depression, polycystic ovary syndrome. It helps lower bad cholesterol and increase good cholesterol in those taking beta blockers. It's also been shown, supposedly, to increase certain body measurements or decrease certain body measurements such as body fat, body weight, and lean body mass. And also supposedly helps performance by increasing energy and just overall performance. After hearing all those potential good things, it sounds like it could be a pretty good supplement, right? But I don't want to get too ahead of myself. Let's dive a little bit more into the research and to doses and such and specifics of this supplement. The RDA from the U.S. National Academy of Sciences for chromium is 50 to 100 micrograms per day. That isn't too high, but some of the doses that we're going to be seeing are 4 to 5 times that in some of these supplementation pieces. Due to this, some of the side effects are chromium poisoning and also an interaction between insulin and chromium. Because as I'll get into more later, chromium supposedly is a catalyst for insulin synthesis and insulin secretion in the blood when the blood glucose is off. And mixing a diabetic by taking insulin and chromium could end up spelling disaster for a diabetic, a type 2 diabetic. But, like I said, we're going to get more into the actual how of it working chromium picolinate-wise. In a study done by Selafu and Hu, they found that the most evidence for chromium's role in the body as a catalyst when insulin needs to be injected in the blood when our blood glucose gets too high. We need something very high on the glycemic index, or because of other issues. So it helps shuttle the blood glucose into the muscle to remake muscle glycogen. That is a big deal because that has effect on diabetes because they can't regulate blood sugar, and this could help them with that. It could improve athletic performance because resynthesis of muscle glycogen, and also weight loss because you start burning fat instead of the glucose or the muscle glycogen. So the biochemistry lines up, but does the practical application actually line up? The first area I kind of want to go in depth in is diabetes treatment. In a study done by Balk et al., a meta-analysis actually done by Balk et al. Back in 2007, they found that chromium supplementation, I will quote, significantly improved glycemia among patients with diabetes. This is a big deal, but as I read more in the study, they stated that this conclusion could be based on potentially shoddy research design from what they saw, which is a little concerning. And something else interesting about this study that was found is that they found no change at all in lipid or glucose metabolism in those without diabetes. So those without diabetes, it does not affect at all. A second study performed by Parsayan and Mozari Karasabi, sorry if I butchered those names, found that chromium picolinate had a beneficial effect on blood glucose, HbA1c levels, lipid profiles, and lipid peroxidation in type 2 diabetic patients. This is a big deal, and they are very confident in this result. Both of these studies that I am comparing use 200 micrograms as their dosages, but they're conflicting in their research, which kind of leads to think that although the biochemistry lines up, potentially the practical application just isn't quite there yet. Maybe it'll take more time, maybe it won't, we'll see. But we're going to move on. Next up is chromium picolinate potential impact on athletic performance. there have been a ton of studies done, but I did find one by Volek et al. Back in '06, and they found that chromium picolinate had no significant enhancement on rapid glycogen synthesis after 2 hours of recovery of intense exercise. Meaning, it actually did not do what supposedly it was supposed to do. That's a big deal, because if it's not supposed to do what it does, if it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, then why take it at all? So overall, this is another example of biochemistry lining up, but practical application not quite lining up. The last area that I kind of want to talk to you guys about was chromium picolinate's potential as a weight loss supplement. This could be the biggest impact in our industry, because that is the issue. In a meta-analysis done by M.H. Pitler, C. Stevenson, and E. Ernst, they found that chromium picolinate had a very small effect on reducing body weight as compared to a placebo. And just to kind of I talked a little bit earlier about the supraphysiological doses. Listen to this. They went from 188 micrograms, which is okay, to 924 micrograms as a dosage for this supplement in these studies that they saw. And actually, as trend that I saw upon my own research, was that as the dosages increased, all the measurables they thought would go down or improve, like increases in lean body mass and decreases in body fat and body weight, it was inverse. There were decreases in lean body mass and increases in body fat and body weight. So, kind of saying that, hey, this doesn't actually work. More is not better. Overall, through the research I kind of presented you guys, it will be more time needs to pass in order for this supplement to gain any traction as a legitimate supplement. Overall, diet and exercise are still the way to go, but time will tell whether this supplement will end up being good or bad for the fitness industry. Goodbye.